Hello, everybody. My name is Javon, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about safer internet usage today. So, I did some research in a study in 2007 by a guy named Michelle or Michael Cooker, found that every 39 seconds, there's a hacker attack on any computer at any given time connected to the internet. Okay? Every 39 seconds. That is a ridiculous amount of time. So quick. Okay? Almost since I've been talking to you now, there's been another hacker attack. All right? We should all take better steps to help prevent these hackers from getting into our information so easily. Like if they're gonna try to get it, got to make them work for it, right? So I think about any time that you've placed like online orders with Amazon. Think about time you've used online banking, social media, Twitter, Facebook, and such. Every time you put that information out there, it's up for the grabs for hackers to get it and steal your identity or whatever they choose to do with it. It's just there. You can't do anything about it. And they'll get it before you even know about it. Okay? This personally happened to me in back in like 2015, I believe. I was in Korea, and some way, I don't know how, but they gained access to my credit card information, and they began making like huge purchases, and it was a hassle to get this entire thing cleared up, get it off my credit report, and also get it refunded the money. Okay, so it's a real problem. All right. So in this speech, I'll be covering just a few best practices to use to help avoid and mitigate that unnecessary risk. Okay. So after I got my information stolen, I began researching just a few tips and stuff, just so it wouldn't happen again in the future, and I'll share those with you today. Okay. So first, the first step in your first defense against becoming a target for hackers is having a good password. Okay. A good quality password is one that it doesn't have to be long. It's always quality over quantity, but make sure it's important to you. Okay, make sure you have a connection to it, and a lot of other people may not know about this connection. You our emotions, however you feel about this password. Okay, make sure it's a good quality one, maybe between 10 to 15 characters. Okay, and you can mix it up, letters, numbers, of course, and symbols. But just make sure it's a good quality one, and you actually want to create about maybe five good quality passwords. Okay, and avoid using passwords like password 123 or QWERTY 123, and you know the same ones everybody uses that everybody tells you don't use, but they still use it anyway. Okay, so your passwords. I know it's hard to create five and just remember them. Like it's very hard to do that. So they have these things called password managers, which are like apps you can put on your phone or your even your computer can have them. But you just place it places all your passwords created and places them in one area. Okay, so you don't have to remember them, and then you can set a master password to access wherever you want to go. Okay, but these password managers, they encrypt your passwords, they keep them safe from hackers, and it's kind of like a third party, just like a storing area. Okay. If you have trouble creating these passwords, these password managers also can generate these passwords for you. They can generate complex passwords, which are probably we can never think of because that's why we have computers to do that. So they generate these complex passwords and they can store them inside the password manager. All right. So password managers are number one, and they're a very, very good way to well, a good password is number one, and then password managers are a good way to help you manage your password so you don't forget. Okay, so even with like password managers and a good password, it's hard to predict how hackers will gain access to your information. So one thing you want to avoid, all right, this is the second step. You want to avoid using public free Wi-Fi. So like airport Wi-Fi, McDonald's, wherever you may be that has free public Wi-Fi without passwords, you want to avoid those at all costs. Okay. The reason is this is you, and this is a connection port to where you get your Wi-Fi from a free Wi-Fi place. Okay. Your information you send goes over to the connection point, but it travels through that empty space first. So anybody sitting in between that empty space could get your information without you even knowing before it even gets to the access point. All right. This is a huge issue that a lot of people still are, they don't understand, they're still using, and you should really try to avoid. Okay. Once a hacker has your information, you're never getting it back. It's gone, right? They can do whatever they want to, and you'll never know what they did until it's too late. Okay. So that's number two. Always avoid public Wi-Fi areas. Okay. Uh, if you absolutely have to use a public Wi-Fi area, there are things called VPNs. All right, this is going to be number three. VPNs are virtual private networks, which they act as a third party to encrypt your information before you even send it to anywhere else. Okay, so as soon as you type whatever you have typed in, they get it before anybody else can get it. They scramble it, they encrypt it, and then they send it to wherever you want to go. All right, it never directly links back to yourself. All right, even a lot of hackers use this to maintain being anonymous. Okay, so VPNs are good. There's a lot of them. They used to be free, but now they're getting more. You have to pay to use them because more people are. They're getting more popular. But even with the price, they're definitely worth it. Okay, you have like me. I have a VPN that I use that I pay for yearly for like $100. For peace of mind, my own peace of mind, $100 is nothing a year. Okay, it's really worth it. All right, so try to find a good VPN that you'll probably like. There's a bunch of them online. You can just type in VPN on Google and they'll bring up a bunch of them. Okay. Uh, I think even though we do take these steps, finding a good password, you can generate it, encrypt it into these password managers, and even using VPNs. There's always another way for hackers to get your information. This is like the future. We're already in the future. We got all this technology. So a lot of our ways aren't really caught up to current times. So nothing's going to be 100%, right? But I think remember that the harder you make it for hackers to get your information, maybe they'll give up. They're like, maybe this guy isn't worth it. I move on to the next guy who is easier, right? So you always want to try your best to make it hardest for these hackers to gain your information, okay? So just remember, number one, passwords, good quality password over quantity, okay? Avoid public Wi-Fi areas at all costs. If you have to, use a VPN, okay, virtual private network, which I would just say don't use it at all. Just wait till you can get somewhere secure. All right, and then the VPN networks from your home computers, they're very, very useful. Okay, so just remember this, and next time you log into any of your accounts, please take these steps into consideration, and remember that hackers are always watching you. They're always probing for weaknesses. Okay. So this is a guy. He's called. His name is Albert Gonzales, and I don't know if you can see the words backwards, but he's one of the most famous hackers in history to gain. He hacked, I think, over $107 million of ATM fraud and everything before he was caught. Man. So it's a huge, huge issue. All right, and this was through 2005 through 2007. All right. He's one of the most famous guys in history, okay? So it's there and it's real, okay? These are a few of my references right here. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you for watching and have a good night. Thanks. Bye.